What you doing there, Lewis? So, I thought I'd tell y'all a few things. To start with, there are those of us that when somebody says to us, you need Jesus, it doesn't actually help. And we know that because we've been around people that, you know, I'm sure if you follow me, you know. But then there are those that really, really believe in Jesus. And some of them are good people. Some of them only follow that stuff because they're afraid. But there is a lot of fear-mongering mixed in the Bible. Even though it says 365 times, be not afraid. But it's confusing because people talk about the fear of God. And anytime somebody says God, I think infinity. The idea of infinity frightens some people. And the way I think of that is, it's like what it says in one of those Gospels that a lot of churches don't want you to read. The Gospel of Thomas. Hi, my name's Thomas. Ponder. Don't think about it. Pink elephant in the room. They always said I think too much. You know what they forgot to tell me? Think about something nice. I guess they couldn't do that because they were focused on being afraid. But see, being focused on fear is the opposite of faith. Faith is this, not this. Not clinging. And if you say something or ask a question about faith or spirituality, religion, Jesus, God, heaven, hell, yeah, baby, and they get nervous, their foundation is shaky. And I say, that is not the time to tear into them and hurt them worse, when the reason they are that way is because somebody hurt them. It's called having compassion, having mercy. Do you stomp on somebody when they fall down? I got a rule of thumb for you to help you stay out of trouble. Don't kick things that got blood. Do you know why I learned that? How I learned that? The hard way. Don't kick things that got blood. Sometimes you do gotta knee a pit bull in the chest to get him to fuck off. I mean, that's a different thing. That's different. Because they stout. Different thing. Don't kick things that got blood. And don't treat people like things. Do you know how I had to learn that one? The hard way. Don't treat people like things. You know how people, there are so many people that have loads of money, but they don't look happy. And you can certainly tell they're not happy by the things they say. I'm sad that money's not doing them any good. Do you know why it's not? Somebody put some weird ideas in their head. I'm going to tell you something. The world ain't what they taught us it was. All of the hierarchies, they work on like a static idea of how everything works. But the world is dynamic. If you pull a card out of a house of cards, the whole thing falls down. But a house of cards won't last in a windstorm. That's just one way to look at it. So, in the Gospel of Thomas, it says, seek and you will find. And when you find, seek and you will find. Knock and the door will open. And once you find, you will be disturbed. But after you're disturbed, you'll be astonished. That's what I think of when I think about people being afraid of the notion of infinity. And yet, there are so many people that talk about God all the time, but they don't associate it with the idea of infinity. But then they say, the fear of God. I'm supposed to be afraid of infinite love. No. I have never gotten down with that idea. Me and that idea have never shacked up, alright? We have respect for each other. How about that? For that matter, people ain't footballs. If you can fumble somebody, then maybe you were thinking you were a football player. Maybe they were thinking they were a football. I don't know. But in a serious relationship, you can't fumble your person. You have to live with what you've done. And the scars remain. Do you know when you're telling a teenager, hey, listen, son, you're going to get yourself fucked up by doing that. And they're like, I know what I'm doing. And they go and they do it. And they come back and they're like, oh my God. And you're like, yeah, hey, look, you see this scar? I did the same damn thing. Maybe your kids will listen to you. Happens all the time. That's why I say we celebrate. We honor the mistakes of those who came before us, lest we be doomed to repeat the same. And we celebrate the victories of others. Because once we see somebody else can have that victory, we know we can too. Because for well over 3,000 years, do you know what they've been saying? What people have been saying for over 3,000 years. Your voice is power. For over 3,000 years, people have been saying the voice is power. So when you say something powerful with conviction and authority, I am the culmination of all I need to be. It sends out signals. What, you think all of this is just macaroni? All of this is energy. Light, electricity, atoms. But if somebody comes along and says, no, you're not, and you say, oh, you're right, I'm not the culmination of all I need to be, but you just put a nail in what you said. You stepped on your own toe. You stubbed your own toe. That is why when you say something powerful, use your imagination. Like, I am the culmination of all I need to be. You stand by your decree. And it grows like a muscle. And over time, step by step, there's all kinds of things you can do just by speaking it into being. That's why it says, and God said, let there be light.